Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Whew, already into September. Got 4 more months to the end of the year. If you decided what you want to do. So, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys, girls, agents, men and women, are actually using common sense when you go to work? In your daily life, in your social life? Common sense. I'm going to say a common sense for you. Then I'm going to get into what we do. I've been doing this in the insurance business now for 28 years. Come across, I don't know, let's say 1,000 agents. Could be more. And what I've seen with a lot of agents that I've dealt with is that a lot of folks in general, not to say in general, do not use common sense on themselves. They want to spend more than what they want to make. They make $1,000 this week, they're going to go out and spend $1,100 because they're anticipating making that 1,000 again. So what you need to ask yourself is, am I using common sense to put a little nest egg off to the side to where if I have a chargeback, if I got somebody who has an NSF charge, if I have a little minor emergency at my house like a busted pipe, or just something kind of just unknown, and also your lead bill. Your lead bill, those little leads, what we use to make sales, I'm not going to say without them you'll go broke, yet those leads keep you at the level you're at now. They cost you money, you get in front of people. So what I'm asking you to do is to try to use more common sense on your household finances. Because when you save a little bit, and yes, you will do without a little bit, instead of you going out to have dinner and spending $150, stay home that Saturday night, make hamburgers on the grill. Oh, Joe, that's boring. I made a lot of money. I want to go out and celebrate. No problem with that. Yet, cut it back. Think about it. If you have money in your savings account and your bills are either paid up or almost paid off and you're getting above and you're seeing the light, do you know how much stress-free presentation you're going to have? I've got agents who go make presentations and they sell with commission breath because they're worried about making a bill, their car payment's late, yet they got to go out and spend that money. So when you use common sense on saving your money, it's going to make your job easier when you're in a house because you're going to come across more sincere. That's from me to you. Now, let's talk about your presentation and using common sense. Everything we do in a home, face to face, or on a phone with a client, everything we do, believe it or not, the client is going to judge you. Moving too much, talking too fast, not eye contact. So everything we do represents what's going to happen at the outcome. It's going to predict the future. The client says yes or they say no. Now, when I say common sense, it's a very simple word, but what ends up happening, some agents want to be very intellectual and use words about this long to impress the client on how smart they are. Our job is to keep it as simple as possible, let people know why we're there, find out why they wanted us there, and then from there, just start speaking with them. Not to them, start speaking with them. You need to start paying more attention when you're speaking with the clients. You need to start listening more when you're with them. Are you thinking before you speak when you're visiting with a client, either face to face or on the phone? Are you tapping your brakes if you're talking too fast? Are you rushing to make a sale? Are you hearing what the client's saying? Or are you listening? Excuse me. Or are you listening to what they're saying? Because hearing something and listening to something is totally different. It seems the same, yet when you listen to it, you kind of like gobbling it up, you're tasting it, you're feeling what they feel. You've got to make sure that your mindset is that you are guiding your client to make a purchase from you, to buy something from you. And your mindset cannot be, I've got to sell them something. Because when you start having the mindset of, I got to sell them something, what happens, you come across sometimes a little aggressive, a little forward, a little bit, So what you need to do, in my thoughts here, and I'll tell you what I'm going to say is 100% correct. When I have money in my savings account, in my checking account, I'm still worried about making a sale. I am all the time. Because when I walk into every single house, I want to make a sale. I don't care if it's a sale for $10 a month. I want to walk out and I want to hit the bell, the cha-ching, that I made a sale. And that's where a lot of agents mess up. They want to sell the big, big dollars. To me, the presentation, the follow through, the eye contact, what's going to happen is that it's all going to add up towards money in your checking account. Now, let's talk about plain old common sense when you're talking with a client, doing the warm up, doing your presentation, asking health questions. You go through the health questions with a client, and the client, you ask the client if he had a heart attack or stroke in the last 2 years. And the client goes, and they're thinking, they go, I don't think I've had a heart attack. Now, to me, that's not the answer I want to hear, okay? It's kind of like me asking you, have you been in a car accident? There are certain life-changing events you don't forget. Have you been in a car accident? Yep. It's in a car accident when I was about 27 years old. I was on the way to Walmart. Somebody ran a stoplight. God forbid. God willing, it wasn't that bad. If I ask you if you've had a heart attack, the answer is going to be yes, I did, or no, I did. So when people think about the answer that they're giving you, now granted, they may not be as sharp as what we want them to do. They may be a little bit slower. They may have to process things a little bit differently. Usually, people have an answer. Have you had a heart attack? Have you had stroke? Have you had cancer? Most people are going to give you a definite yes or no. Now, my thoughts is that when they're thinking about that, is that they're thinking that they spoke to somebody else before and they were asked those same questions and they got a graded, modified, or guaranteed issue, and they didn't get immediate benefits that they wanted. So now they're thinking, well, Joe Ciaccio's a new guy, never seen him before, represents a different company, doesn't know me, first time he's ever talked to me. If I don't tell him the whole truth, I'm probably going to get immediate benefits what I want. So we're using common sense to dig a little bit deeper when they give you a response like that. Here's another one. Overall, when I go to a house, I tell people, man, I've been doing this for like 28 years and I love helping people out. I run across people that are very, very sick, and I run across people that are in perfect shape. And the benefit about doing business with me, I can help anybody out. Doesn't matter how their health is. Now, overall, how has your health been? And when I get the answer I'm about to tell you, this is going to make me take a step backwards and think, why did they say that? The answer is, I'm doing much better now. Now, when somebody tells you they're doing much better now, you don't say, okay, and go through the health questions. My recommendations are, why are you feeling better now? What happened to you 6 months ago or a year ago that you're feeling better now? Sometimes they're going to say, well, I sprained my ankle. I twisted my knee. I had a knee operation. That's all right. Yeah, you want to find out they had a heart attack, they had stroke, they have cancer, do they have a bout with their COPD, did they have some type of bout with something? So you want to use common sense when you hear these questions and responses, that the answers they give you hopefully are going to be kind of like a definite yes or a definite no. Now, if you ask a client, have you had a heart attack in the last 2 years? And they go, well, I'm not sure if it's been over 2 years or not. So now your job is to say, okay, I know they had a heart attack. I know they had a stroke. I know they had cancer. I know they have something. Now my job is to help them figure out how long it's been. Okay? Do you keep any notes in your phone under your calendar? Most people are going to say no. Say, okay. How old were you when you had that event? Joe, I think I was about 71 or 72. Well, that's not helping you out. So you've got to do what you can to dig and go back slowly. We're now in the month of September. Did it happen before last Christmas? Oh yeah, it happened way before last Christmas. Okay, did it happen before the Christmas before? I think so. So now you're at almost 2 years. So now you got to start inching it back. Did it happen in the summertime? Did it happen during the 4th of July? You got to start helping them out to get the answer. You have any medical records? Okay? You have any doctor records? When they give you an answer, you want a more definite answer, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to get right to the punchline. Okay? If you don't do that, you're going to write an application up. You're going to get them all excited. And they're going to go, no, 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 no. They're going to tell you things that you should have used your common sense to dig. And you're going to give them the best price you got in the house. And they're going to be all happy. Go for it. You're going to get a decline. Now what happens? Well, I'm going to tell you what happens later. Now, they ask you, you know, Joe, I want to make sure I get immediate benefits on this plan. Okay. That's going to tell me either they spoke to somebody else about the insurance, they applied with somebody else and they did not get immediate benefits, which is not a bad thing. Okay. Every carrier's got different underwriting questions. Okay. They might have spoke to a friend, a neighbor next door, who has what they think is the same thing, and they got declined. Okay. So you need to find out why they're asking you. Why? It's a man out of curiosity. My job here is to make sure I get you the best available program that we have to offer. My company represents over 28 different carriers in our area. And what I'm going to do is ask you some health questions, and I'm going to figure out which carrier both fits you and the carrier to make sure you get immediate benefits. Every carrier's got different health questions, and I've had people who've got declined and immediate benefit, declined or graded benefits with other carriers, yet those carriers are not as broad as what I have in my portfolio. Okay, so I need to ask you some health questions. Now, when you're talking with people, you want to use common sense, yet you want them to use common sense that they answer you correctly. Because people think, as I said a second ago, new agent, new lead, different carriers, hopefully a different outcome. You need to tell your client, the insurance companies know more about us than we know about ourselves. They have our medical records at their fingertips, hospital records at their fingertips, our prescriptions at their fingertips. They've got everything about us right there at their fingertips. So the more you tell me about you, the better plan I can get for you. And I'm going to tell you, there's some carriers, if you have COPD, emphysema, Parkinson's, or lupus, you're going to get it graded. Period. You're going to get it graded. With us, we got carriers that give you immediate benefits. Some carriers out there, you got to go 2 years without having a heart attack And if not, you get graded. With us, we got it over a year, you get one. Immediate benefits. Okay? So you've got to sit and know your applications. Common sense. Are you looking at your applications? Are you learning the underwriting? Now, here's another thing that they ask me that kind of makes me kind of think. Do you have to draft my checking account? I'd much rather send the payment in. I feel safer doing it that way. Now, the answer is not to tell them this is how it's done. Okay, you can't be a brute and tell them, no, you got to do it this way here. My thing is, let them explain to you why they're making that statement. Okay, let them kind of hang themselves on why they're saying that. Everything today is almost done without money. I don't know how many people I talk to, more the younger generation, who carry no money in their pocket. My nieces, they carry no money. Everything is ATM or credit card. I said, what if you need $20? And they look at me like I'm nuts. I said, listen, I walk around with money in my pocket. I'm older. I'm old-fashioned. Okay, I got my own patterns. People today are different. So when a client says, do you have to draft my checking account, or why do you have to draft it? I want to send it in. I'm not going to give them a dissertation on why it's going to be that way. I want to find out why they're asking me that question. They're probably going to sit and say, well, the bank messed up on my account and I got a $35 NSF charge because they drafted it on the wrong day. Now, what do? Do you sympathize with them? Do you tell them, oh no, our company doesn't do that. Oh, you ain't got nothing to worry about. What you can do, you're gonna slide in. You're gonna be like a baseball player, rounding first base, sliding into second base, but you can do it in slow motion. You're gonna come around that bag, you're gonna slide in, and right when you're touching that bag, you're standing up and tell the client, the carriers that we have today are very mind conscious of your money. They want to make sure that when you start a program, that your program is in force until the day you pass away. So their job is to help you out. Your job is to help you and your family out. And what they have done, they've gotten with Social Security. And what Social Security has done with all the insurance carriers is that they've designed it to where when your money comes into your account, you're born in the 11th of the month, you probably get your check on the third Wednesday. Am I correct? I look at you and go, yes, I do. What the company does with the banks, okay, is the company knows, the bank knows that you're going to be getting a deposit from your Social Security. So let's sit and say your Social Security check comes in, let's say at 12:15, 12:30. The bank is already set up. It's not going to let no money out of that account until the Social Security check comes in. Then it says, okay, Joe's got enough money in his checking account and we can send off this important payment for your final expense plan. So I'm going to tell you, ever since the banks and the insurance company got together with Social Security, I have yet to have one complaint about anybody's check not going through. That's why the insurance companies do it. And secondly, they give you a discount to have you do it that way because it saves them money on a stamp, an envelope, a letter, a reminder letter, and the staff to do it. So they say, if we can save this money here, let me pass the money on to the client. Think about it, okay? I want you guys to use common sense when you're speaking with people. When they ask you something that is something that you don't understand, take a step back, tap those brakes. Instead of you defending what they're saying, have them explain why they said what they said. Okay, guys, if you need anything, call me. We got final expense, we got term, we got whole life. We got annuities, we got under age 65 individual health insurance plans, PPO plans, no referrals needed, Medicare, Medicare Advantage. No matter what you need, here's our number. Call and somebody in the office will get back with you. Looking forward to working with you, earning your business. Make it a great day. We'll talk next time. Bye-bye.